Looks better. Am I live? I hope so. I don't know why I keep getting notifications. Sorry about that. I had to, it appears. Ooh, I see some sparkle in my future. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Can you all see me okay? Can I? No, that doesn't work. I'm telling you. I think I will just wait. I don't know. Can you all see me okay? I don't see any comments, live messages. There we go. I'm trying to see what's going on. I might have to redo it. Hey. Yeah, I had to create a new live because the other one was just crappy. I don't know, maybe there's still a problem with my Wi-Fi and live streaming, but I'm really not sure. So we shall see. If anybody's in the chat, put a message in the chat if you can hear me. And if not, I will, I guess, have to do a live later. But yeah, put something in the chat. I know I had to recreate the whole kit and caboodle, as people in Wisconsin would say. I don't know if anybody else says that from other parts of the world or the United States. Hey, Samantha. Good. Can you hear me okay? Because I had to end my last live. I started and then I had to cancel it, and it wasn't very good. And I tried to spin it the other way so you could see me like in a horizontal, but that doesn't seem to work. Oh, that is awesome. I'm glad. But life is good. Hey, Queen, it's good to see you. I know I was just starting in the other community, and I was just saying how recently I've been kind of concerned because I've been kind of in a funk. And you know how I got stuck in a book, but it's like I have all these things I could be doing, but I really don't want to. Queen, thank you very much, my dear, for doing that. I appreciate it. Um, so a lot has been going on. I don't know. Isn't that weird? Probably because my name is Spicy Little Princess. And that was the topic of, that should be like my OnlyFans. That's what I should do. I should do OnlyFans. Then all those people can come in there and pay $20 a month to see me talk about the same thing I'm saying out here. Shock, right? But no. um, yeah, life has been pretty, yeah, the last couple weeks have been very hard, very, very hard. And it's, and I don't know why. I don't. I really don't. I don't know if it's because I work from home, but I really don't. Hey, everybody from coming in. I know, I feel bad. Samantha hasn't been feeling very well, and I miss her. But yeah, it's been pretty sad. Yeah, I didn't come in through StreamYard. I came in through YouTube. My first, my other live, I had a live scheduled. I went into there and it kept freezing up. So now I started this one. And I didn't put any hashtags. I didn't do nothing. The live is called Spicy Little Princesses Lies. I know. Well, at least we all get to see all the trolls in our world here, hey? I think about you guys a lot. I've been missing everybody's lives. Oh, good. Samantha, I'm so excited. I hope you get to go home tomorrow. It'll be so much better. You'll be more comfortable. I'm so glad. So glad. I've been praying for you every day, most definitely. And I talk about you to Steve about kind of what you've been going through and how, people don't realize everybody has differences. And I titled um, my live before, the initial live, then and now. And when my kids were little, we used to, my niece was born 4 weeks before their twins. And by the age of 1, she was running. Hey, Try Me Bitch, how are you, my dear? It's so good to see you. But like Maggie and Olivia, when Olivia turned 1, she was, and I'm only using her as an example because Maggie had a brain injury and wasn't even thinking about that. But my niece was a year old and she was like running, and Olivia still wasn't able to sit up on her own independently. Hello, Mirandy. It's so good to see you. And Olivia couldn't even sit up on her own. She was 10 pounds at a year old. And so it was just, I was sad. Like, when is my child going to be able to do that? And then, like, my niece started talking. Olivia didn't talk. She didn't really say anything. Maybe like a mama. No, she didn't even say that. She would just make noises. And they told me that the progression of infants is, they roll over and then they crawl and then they pull themselves up and then they walk. And after they start walking is when they start talking. It's just the way it works in life. And I was waiting. All I wanted Olivia to ever say. And she had physical therapy day in and day out. She had low muscle tone. So like her arms and everything was floppy. And her head was floppy. And that's why they didn't, and her spine, her torso. Um, she had to build up the muscle in her torso and in her abdomen and those kind of things. And it was really hard. And working with her, physical therapy came in our house twice a week. And when she turned 3, it's like, oops, graduated out of in-home, what they call birth to 3 program. And now she had to go to a center for bigger kids, like 3-year-olds, right? And she couldn't walk. And when she was 3, she started walking, where my niece was learning other things like her colors, but Olivia couldn't talk, even though I would sit with her day in and day out, working and reading and wanting her to say words. And the first word out of her mouth was Papa, which is my dad. Isn't that crazy? She loved her papa so much. She would get so excited when he would come over because he was like my triple backup plan babysitter, because I worked full time and so did my husband at the time, and we had her in daycare, and then I had a backup daycare plan, and if that fell through, then it was my dad. And my mom was like, she gave that responsibility to my dad because they were retired. But my mom, she still worked a lot. She was a substitute teacher, and she was just amazing. But it was so hard, and you compare so much in life. You truly, truly do. We compare ourselves to other people and how they live and how they are. And this past weekend, my cousin had came in from Alaska, and they brought their little baby, and it's their first child. And I'm like, oh, they're so fortunate. It's their first child. And their baby has Down syndrome. And I thought it was just unique to me that when my friends would talk about their kids who were the same age, and that they could do like backflips and they could do all these amazing things, and my kid was just learning to sit up when everybody else's kids were running around and talking. And yeah, it was very, very hard. And to this day, and not to be mean, but my daughter is still somewhat socially behind, socially. Um, she got straight A's in college, which was amazing when she could barely get a C throughout high school. But it was just a different opportunity for her. And things are hard. Things are hard on her too. Like, she's 26 and she now has an amazing boyfriend, but he lives far away. And he lives in Boston, and she wants to move there. And she's like, but all my cousins, and she used to feel bad. Like, my cousins, they all have boyfriends or they're married, or 2 of her cousins, my nieces, have kids. And, we're always comparing. And I would say that about my sister too. Like, how easy her life is, and how easy I felt. Well, yeah, you had healthy children who didn't have any disabilities or differences, and then there was me. And gosh, everything is so hard. I have a brain injured baby who nobody would want to babysit because they were afraid she would die. So nobody wanted to be responsible for her. My parents did. My mom and dad were very, very good. And yeah, it was very hard. Well, what if they start breathing? And can somebody get rid of that crazy person in there? Thank you. Um, thanks, Samantha. I know. I don't know how. Um, KK says, how are your kids now? My kids are good. I have a healthy brain daughter who's successful. She has a full-time job, and and I also have a son who really he works very hard. He does concrete day in and day out. He is like amazing. Amazing. Yeah, KK, it was really hard. It was because I had twins, um, and my one twin suffered a brain injury due to medical negligence at 8 years old. What I feel is medical negligence, but all the other things. And it's very hard. Try Me says, it's pretty cool, Suzie, about your daughter. Sometimes it's a situation wherein that makes us either excel or struggle. Social anxiety is real. It is. It's very hard. And to try to, thank you, KK. It's, life is hard. And I've been, you know, I, a year ago, yeah, it was a year ago, I had hip replacement surgery. But before the surgery, I was in so much pain day in and day out. Hey, Mama B, welcome. Sorry, I had to cut out my previous live. It's so good to see you. I don't think I can even post or pin a message. I don't know how to do that. Um, but it it's a lot and it's hard, and sometimes you feel bad about yourself, like, you know God is in control. Well, God is only in control if I allow him to be in control, and to be which is hard sometimes, because sometimes you just don't want to know what God has in store for you, if you think about it. But the interesting thing is, I started reading this book, Hillbilly Elegy. If you guys, um, it was written by J.D. Vance. And I know we don't want to get political, but let me tell you, this book is very good. How in this country alone, and it's the story of his life and his upbringing, and how his family was from the hillbillies and the Appalachian Mountains, and then how they go into Ohio to better their life and for jobs and like the steel mills or whatever, and how how he was raised and everything his grandparents taught him. And I'm like, wow. And how his family struggled, and how he would look at, I'm only to the point in the book where he's in high school, right? And with him being in high school, he worked at a grocery store, and he saw all people from all different walks of life. And he always wanted to know why they are the way they are, whether it be people with money or people on food stamps, and how it's hard socioeconomically here in the world. And, you look at life, and I look at life, and people talk about white privilege. And yes, there is white privilege, I believe. But then you have me, was that I look different. I have to be extra friendly when I'm out in public, so people aren't afraid of me. And it's weird. People are afraid, as y'all know. Hey, Gabi, how are you, my dear? But it is hard. I have to triple what I do and I'll use just Keep It Real as an example. Her and I've had some discussions. But if her and I were to go for a job and we had the same, well, maybe not the same exact skill set, maybe we didn't, but it would be, she would be looked at with, I would be under more scrutiny. Like, are we sure? Are we sure we can do this? Is she going to be all right? Does she really know as much as her resume says? And I had gone through interviews, and I'm very outgoing, and I look at people, and I've been very fortunate in my life that my personality, and who I am, and building that confidence. I wish, and like my nieces are very confident people. And then my daughter Olivia isn't as confident. She's really quiet. I, I'm in like the middle. So if there is, how do I say this? You have the people on the inside of this, in the circle, right? I would be smack dab in the middle of that circle. You wouldn't see me on the outside edge of that circle where my daughter Olivia is way outside of the circle. But that's just how she is. She doesn't like plow her way through. It's like going to a concert, right? And you're in a grass field and there's a big Bon Jovi concert going on. And I would be the one to tell my friends behind me, keep up, we're going to get to the front. And they'd be like, no, Suzie, we can't. I'm like, I can't see. I'm just looking at a field of butts. So I would be weaving in and out, and people would like freak out, right? They're like, oh my God, what is this? After they have all their beers and everything. And people just like moved out of my way, and I keep going up towards the front. And the next thing I know, my friends were behind me. They're like, we're sorry, we're just trying to catch her. And before you knew it, we were in the front row, like at a Bon Jovi concert. And this was way back in the day, in the 80s, early 80s, when they, their fan following wasn't that big. And for any kind of concert I went to, I saw Boston and Journey and Air Supply and all the things that I really love for music, and had a great time. And so, like, Boston played, I don't know, this is probably 8, 9 years ago at a county fair. And it was pretty awesome. It was great. And I like wiggled my way up to the front. And then, of course, I went to see this Christian artist. His name is Ben Fuller. I know Mirandy knows him. I love him. He looks like a lumberjack, okay? Just saying. He lives in the middle of the woods, is no lie, with like no running water. He has a cabin in the woods, and he fills his oven with wood so he can cook meals. He's amazing. Again, his name is Ben Fuller. Online, it's Ben D. Fuller. I love him. I'll have to share pictures because he is so stinking cute, but he's freaking tall. And of course, our we go to, or we used to go to a church that was very well funded. And so they would bring in these Christian artists that have CDs, and, they play at the Grand Ole Opry, and they do all this stuff. And our church would bring them in. And I saw Ben Fuller 3 times through our church, like before he became big. And it was interesting. And then he was outside. And of course, I do my thing. I needed to be in the front. And then he was like on his halftime break or whatever. And I went into the back and I had to introduce myself. No lie. I had to meet this man because his music was pretty incredible. And those are just the things about me where you have people think, oh, well, you have a lot of confidence. You don't have issues. Yeah, I do. It can be very lonely working from home, taking care of your daughter, and working in corporate America. Like, I love doing that. But unfortunately, due to corporate downsizing, and all your jobs are getting outsourced to other countries, which is just sick and wrong in my mind. I love doing that. And now, the last 4 years, I've been home taking care of my daughter because of the thing called COVID. So, you know, people don't realize, and oh, I know what I was talking about before. I had a hip replacement surgery a year ago, but I was in pain, like huge amount of pain, um, before I had this surgery for at least a year, and I could barely walk. Like, I couldn't do anything. And my sister, who doesn't always think of me as being a little person, should be scaling ladders and be in the rafters in the garage like she is, or, climbing on the roof to help clean out the gutters. And A, I can't even walk because I need my hip replaced. And B, I'm only 4'3". She's 5'6". And she forgets what my abilities or disabilities are, and what I can do, and how big, like, my hands are. I don't mean to, but things are different. I can't do a lot of the physical things that she can do. What I can do, something she hates, is taking my mom shopping. I'll take my mom shopping whenever, as long as I get to go somewhere I want to go. But I have no problem driving my mom places and doing things with her, where my sister, I mean, my sister will, don't get me wrong, but she does, I do, I listen to my mom, who talks all about Fox News all day, every day. I can only talk so much, or hear so much. But I think I have a good listening ear, and I'm more compassionate towards people. My sister, though, when we go on vacation, she's like, or this past weekend, she's like, you better pay attention to mom. She's kind of wobbly today. And I'm like, okay. And then I kind of strayed away from my mom, and she comes over to me to remind me she's kind of wobbly today. So I just found a cousin. Hey, can you like help my mom with that? I want to go check this out. So it was kind of, hey, just keep it real. Good to see you. You've missed it. There were a lot of trolls in here earlier. I don't know what I did, but I've been just kind of talking about what people think, how things are different, and how, like, now, different I am. But my sister doesn't see me as different because she grew up with me my whole life. She's been with me my whole life, and forgets and doesn't see the differences. But yeah, you missed it. Just keep it real. I talked about you for a brief moment about applying for the same job. And even though our skill set is different, a little different, that it would take them, unless I really sold them something, they would have to think about me a little bit more than they would have to think about you. And even though you're like, I don't know, 5 inches taller than me, maybe 6, um, they would have to think about that. And it's frustrating. And then comparing your children when they're different to children the same age who don't have really differences, and how hard it is for people. And like I was talking about, like if there's a circle of people, I'm in the middle. But like my daughter, Olivia, oh, okay, so you're 8 inches taller than me. All right, sorry about that. You're still kind of short. And I can wrap my entire arm around you. That's the most amazing thing I have to say, and the first real thing that I noticed about difference. And I said, to just keep it real, we were like posing for pictures, and I went to put my arm around her, and she put her arm around me, and I, like that side by side hug kind of thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my arm has never fit around somebody before like that. It was crazy. I'm like, this is so exciting. It really was. It was. I was just like, I couldn't stop talking about it. Do you know my arm is long enough to reach all the way around? Just keep it real. Did you know that? I was so excited. And I never had that experience with someone who's like my age, even though we're different heights. I can't do that with the rest of my friends. And I have friends that are thin and all of that, but nope, just keep it real. She's my girl. But, and I know now my arm is moving, I'm getting too excited. But how people are different, and the how things have changed, and how the work impact you had. But don't forget, you guys, read that book, Hillbillyology, for sure. I'm gonna see here if I can send a link. I don't know. I could before. Well, I thought, but that was different. That was kind of weird. But anyways, I guess I can't. But I don't know. This is just nice just to talk with all of you here, and it's been fun. But if anybody has any question, I would love to put a link in the chat, but I was in such a hurry to restart my live, or to start a new live, that we kind of got in the mix. But I'm super excited about Samantha starting to feel much better and maybe going home tomorrow. I'm so excited. Anybody else have anything exciting the last couple of days or 2 weeks since I've been here? It's been a long time. It's been a while. Oh, another weird thing happened to me over all of this is I woke up this morning, but I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was having this dream. And I don't remember the whole dream vividly, but the end of the dream I remember because I woke up. Tomorrow, shut the front door. You and I are going to have to talk. Woohoo. That's so exciting. Exciting, exciting, exciting. But yesterday I was talking with Just Keep It Real about my dad. And my dad passed away 8 years ago in September. And we were just talking. And so last night, I woke up in the middle of the night, or this morning. I'm not sure. It probably was this morning. And I told my dad in my dream, because he was there. He was in my dream. First time this has ever happened. And I told him, oh, just wait here. I'm going to go get my car and pick you up. Because I said to him, do you want to go home with me? And he said, yes. I said, well, wait here. I'll go grab my car and I'll come and pick you up. And as I'm walking to my car in my dream, I woke up and I said, he's fucking dead. Why am I doing this? And yeah, I do use a lot of those words because I'm still disappointed that he's not here. And I think about him every day. And Steve said, well, it's probably because, and I woke myself up by saying that out loud. I woke myself up. And I'm like, was he trying to tell me something? Like, he wants to come to my house. And I've had a lot of creepy stuff happen here where we live, a little bit. Where we live, this building is only 9 years old, I do believe. And we were the first people to live in this building, or one of the first. So, and in this apartment, I should say. So, yeah, it was crazy. And yeah, we were just talking about him yesterday. He probably heard us, I know. And he probably was like, Suzie, what the hell is what he would say. He was always he didn't like people talking about him. He taught me everything and how to be my whole life, but he was a lot of his. Gabi says, I have good news. My dad's cancer hasn't changed or spread. The oncologist said he'll repeat the PET scan every 6 months instead of 3. That's so exciting. That's so good. That is really good news. It really is. Very much so. But yep, I wish every day my dad was here. And I think about him every day. And I can't imagine. Gabi, that is such good news. It is. But yep, prayer. It's important. It really is. And yes, God is good. And I've learned something today. And that's why I kind of got excited to come on too, that, you know, God is there for me as long as I allow him to be there for me. And I think that's so important. The willingness to let him see. And if you don't, then you kind of go down a path of, like, I felt depressed. I felt a lot of things useless. Not useless in like in a bad way, but you know what I mean. Lazy, that's the word I should use. Lazy. I was very lazy and a lot of things. I know. I've been holding my phone, so now I just had to give it. Definitely. My mom, just keep it real, my mom had a bone marrow biopsy last Wednesday. It's so hard waiting for the results. Yeah, it is. Well, hopefully and that was just, yes, last Wednesday. Well, I don't know, just keep it real. I think that when it's something super bad, they like call super quick. So I think whatever it is, it's probably something, but they can't quite figure out what it is. Oh, they said it would be 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, yeah, for all the bad news that we've ever gotten from a medical perspective, if it was super bad, we'd hear about it right away. But doesn't that suck? You have to wait for 2 to 3 weeks. And having a bone marrow extraction is a big deal. And you would think it would be easier to test than it's not. Yep. That's what I think too. I hope no news is good news. Me too. Yep. Yeah. It's so hard. And it's so hard for us. I know the majority of the people in my community, we're like middle aged, mid 30s, up to 60 something, maybe older, maybe 70s. But you think about it, we're at the age where, like, my mom is 86. My dad, I think, oh, I don't remember. He was, I think, 81 when he died. Because if my mom's 86 now, he would be 89. So, yeah, they're getting old. And it's hard. I don't want to. I video chatted my mom. I talked to her twice today, and one was on FaceTime because I had all these jelly jars because she makes homemade jellies. And you know how there's just like a little smidge in the bottom of the jar, and then somebody opens a new jar of the same kind of jelly. Hey, my dear Wandering Scorpio, it's so good to see you. You're in Houston. How exciting. Anything good going on down there? How exciting. Hey, do you ever go to Victoria? My cousin, she is was just down there in July. Um, she goes every year. She grew up there in Victoria, and she was telling me it was 5 hour drive to Eagle Pass, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Where my in-laws live, like an hour north of the border, but she was saying how she had to go to Eagle Pass to take her cousin to a dentist in Mexico. Um, but she said, yes, I want to move to. Shut up. You do? You really want to move to Victoria? That's so exciting. It's kind of the booming city all of a sudden, just like Austin. Who would have thunk? I thought you wanted to do like South Padre Island. I don't know how far the beach is from Victoria. At least an hour, I want to say. But that's so cool. Exciting. Yep. But I learned a lot this weekend. I really did. Talking to my cousin about his little guy with Down syndrome, the cutest little guy, just could eat him up. And him and his wife and I were talking like for hours about me saying, don't worry about it. He'll get there. Don't worry about it. Port Lavaca and Chocolate Bay Rexes. Oh my goodness. Port Lavaca and Chocolate, Texas. Oh, Port Lavaca and Chocolate Bay, Texas. I'm like, I never heard of that city, Chocolate Bay Rexes. Cute. But yeah, I just brought up about comparing people and all the conversations that have been going around about being different and all of that good stuff. Hey, Julie, how are you, my dear? I hope you're well. I'm sorry if I have, yeah, Julie, my sushi thief. I want to go for sushi one of these days. That would be yum. Yummy. So, how did that work out for you, stealing sushi, Julie? In a rent. I'm just kind of laughing about that. But yeah, things have just been kind of getting. I was kind of in a funk, my dear. I really was. Um, yeah. just kind of being lazy, non-motivated, whatever, that kind of stuff. I did cook for the boys. At least I did that part. I didn't really do anything else. I didn't fold laundry for the last 3 days because we were gone this past weekend. But yeah, but life is good. It's exciting. Wandering, you should have called me. I was off. Oh, wait till after the Zoom tomorrow. You're going to be busy. All right, just keep it real. I can't wait. I cannot wait. We've been having conversations in the car. I'm super excited. Julie from Philly, it didn't work out too well. I got caught. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. She is. Definitely. That's funny. And who caught you? Oh, wait. Their memory is skewed. They never saw you. They thought they did. Suzie, I know the feeling. Got a lot going on. I understand. Yeah, I get it. You kind of feel just, I don't know, just unmotivated. Like, there's really nothing exciting going on. Like, I probably have 4 bags of paper to, oh, okay. So, what I was talking about, well, I was like all over the board, but how, you know, the way I think back then and comparing yourself to others when you're a new parent, I would compare myself a lot or my children a lot to other kids their same age as to what they can do or what they can't do or what they can't do and what they can't do and everybody else is doing. And I was reminded of that this weekend when I was talking with my cousin and his wife regarding their infant son who has Down syndrome, who, and those things come back. And then you hear, like, on the news about, or on YouTube about privilege and how, you know, you really, and it's sad. It really is. It's very, very sad. And then you get the, you just, and even now, just getting into a funk. But I was talking about reading Hillbilly Elegy and how it's been very enlightening about how a part of our country, which is probably 10 hours away from where I live, is so different than how I live here. And I know a lot of people live in Georgia, and it's so different compared to where I live and how I think, and yes, ma'am kind of thing is very different here. And our kids aren't required to say that, but it's just all, um, everything is different, and we really need to look at how what we can do to be better humans is what it is. Just keep it real said. I saw a cool quote today. All good moms are the ones who think they're bad moms. If you didn't care, you wouldn't care. Exactly. Agreed. 100%. And yeah, it's not easy being a parent. It's not easy. So, Wandering Scorpio, are you spending the night in Houston, or do you have a load to drop off and turn around to go back? I'm just curious. I think you have a really good opportunity to meet so many people across this great country that we live in. You really do. I have no idea my next move. Oh, So right now, you are in Houston. How exciting. You do, and you get to see so much. And I can't wait for people to come here to Wisconsin to see what it's like. It's so different, even from my in laws who live in New Mexico. So different. Um, yeah, and it's hard to understand. You know, Steve was sending pictures to his parents of us being by the lake. And I don't know, lake life is very big here in Wisconsin. It's a very big thing. Everybody, you know, you talk to people who are working. So, what are you guys doing this weekend? Oh, we're going to the lake, whatever lake that is, because there's probably 8,000, 9,000 of them. And it's that's what we do in New Mexico. So, what do you guys do on the weekends? Oh, not much. I'm like, don't you guys go to the lake? And they looked at me like I was on crack. They're like, to go fishing? I'm like, can you show me the lake houses? And then they look at me, nobody lives on a lake. So it's exciting. In 3 hours, I'll find out if it's California, Oregon, or Wisconsin. Could be anywhere. Well, I hope. Yeah, just keep it real. You live in Lake Country, Georgia. Yeah, just like us. We can drive to a lake that's probably 10 minutes away from where I live. I live in the Lake Country area, is what it's called. But it's because it's by a large city and, yep, the Lake Country. So, Wandering Scorpio, make sure to email me or call me. If you email me, I'll send you my number. So, when you're in Wisconsin, we can all get together. That would be super fun. All right, my dear Mirandy, have fun with the babies. Love it. Just keep it real. Lake people are good people. They are. Like, everybody helps everybody out. I never stop, Susie, non-stop working. That's why I take a month-long vacations 4 times a year. Oh my gosh. That's pretty cool. That's a good way to put it. Yep. Just in a month-long vacations. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, just keep it real. Lake people are good people. They really are. Like, they'll invite you to a party if, at the end of the block that they're having at their house. You meet them out at the lake. And if a boat, like, you know, the engine dies or whatever, there's people willing to help tow your boat to wherever you need to go. I mean, it's never a thought. People on boats notice when there's a stranded boat and everybody zooms over to help them. And then the hardest thing for the people who own the stranded boat is to, you know, pull them home. Wandering Scorpio, we should all go to Tybee Island next summer or something. Yes, definitely. Yeah, just keep it real. We've towed hundreds of boats. So just keep it real. What do you think about Tybee Island next summer? That would be fun. See, that would be so much fun. But it is, it's good. But yeah, lake life is really the best. And, you know, it's everybody's so nice. And I have never met somebody on the lake that isn't willing to help you out or celebrate you, or you meet people. And it's just a lot. Sometimes it's too much. You know, like, we have family dinner on Saturday nights if we're at my mom's house. And family dinner includes my cousins who live on the other side of the lake or whatever. Or the neighbors or whoever shows up. oh, you're cooking out? Yeah, why don't you help yourself? We have lots of food. You know, it's just one of those things. But it's good. I wish I lived down south, but unfortunately, it would take a lot to do to move further south with Maggie. It would be a whole lot. But I've been on here for almost an hour. I love each and every one of you, and I'm so excited that you all came to do this. I really appreciate it very, very much. And I can't. Oh, I need to plug Black Onyx birthday party September 5th. Oh, that's cool. Is she going to be cooking? September 5th, that is like a Thursday. Second, third, fourth. I think it's a Thursday. Hey, Brandy. We were just about to leave. I'm so glad you got to stop in and just at least say hi. It was so good to see all of you. Ooh, it's going to be online karaoke. Fun. We will. I'll try to do more of these lives. It was fun. Mama B, I'm glad you came back. That's okay. So, anyways, well, I was going to say you all have a fantastic day, and I will try to come back sooner than later. Okay? Hopefully, I will have the book read, and I'm going to put a plug in one more time, y'all. This, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I think you can. Hillbilly Elegy. Awesome book, just saying. If you get a chance to read it, it's really good. It's an easy read. So I just thought I'd say hey, and I'm so glad to see you, and I appreciate each and every one of you coming. Yes. Aw. Thank you. You're so sweet, Wandering Scorpio. We love you too very much. Hey, you can send me an email. My email is SpicyLittlePrincess@gmail.com. Anybody can. You have questions or anything like that, or you just want to chit chat, I'm all up about that. So, anyways, guys, it was so good to see you, and I will see you sooner than later. Bye.